Listen, you took the fight to the external world, right? You took a savage, intentional act and you eliminated the distractions that were stealing your energy. But I'm going to tell you something right now. That was the easy part. The real war, the one that truly determines your destiny, is fought right between your ears. You can have the cleanest, most distraction-free environment in the world, but if you don't conquer the voice inside your head, you ain't going nowhere. You hear me? You ain't going nowhere. That voice, that quiet little whisper, that's the voice of procrastination. It's the voice of fear. It's the voice of comfort. It tells you it's too hard. Just wait a minute. You don't have enough energy. I'll start tomorrow. That voice, y'all, is the greatest enemy you will ever face. That voice is the silent killer of more dreams than any other force on the planet. That voice is the enemy. And today, we're going to put it in a chokehold. Today, we're going to silence it. I'm going to give you a secret weapon. I'm going to give you a tool that the most disciplined, the most focused, the most successful people on this planet use, whether they even know it or not. It's called the 5-second rule. That's it. So simple. It sounds crazy, right? But listen to me closely. The truth is, your brain is a magnificent machine, but it is also lazy. The moment you have a great idea, the moment you feel that spark of inspiration to do your one thing, your brain immediately starts a mental battle. It starts a proton list. Do I really want to do this? What if it fails? What if it's too hard? I'll do it later. And in that moment of hesitation, your momentum dies. You lose. You have a 5-second window. A 5-second window from the moment you have an idea, from the moment you know you need to do something to the moment you start to act. 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you move. You don't think about it. You don't question it. You don't debate it with yourself. You just go. You get up and you do it. That's it. Look, I'm going to tell you a quick story about me. Early in my career, I had a phone call I knew I had to make. It was to a very important person, and I was terrified. My brain was screaming, don't do it. Not right now. Wait until tomorrow. It was giving me a million excuses, but I stood up, looked at that phone, and I said, no, not today. I didn't think about what I was going to say. I didn't plan it out perfectly. I just said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I hit that call button. My hand was shaking, but I did it. And the result of that call doesn't even matter as much as the fact that I chose courage over comfort in that moment. I proved to myself that I was in control. That's what this is about, y'all. That little window is the most dangerous space in the world because that's where dreams go to die. It's where you talk yourself out of greatness. It's where you let comfort win the battle. The person who hesitates is lost. And the problem isn't that you lack the knowledge. The problem is that you lack the courage to move on what you already know. You know you need to get up and exercise. You know you need to make that phone call. You know you need to sit down and write that paper. But you let that hesitation creep in and it robs you. It steals your momentum, your energy, and your self-respect. So today's mission is about getting back that self-respect. It's about showing yourself that when you say you're going to do something, you do it. This is about training your mind to stop negotiating with you. You are the commander of your brain. Your brain doesn't get to tell you what to do. You tell it. You say, get up and move, and it obeys. That's it. The 5-second rule is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. You're going to use it to get out of bed in the morning. When that alarm goes off, your brain is going to say, just 5 more minutes. And you are going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you are going to throw the covers off and you are going to stand up. You are going to win the first battle of the day. And that will set the tone for your entire day. The cost of hesitation is massive. Every time you procrastinate, every time you put off what you know you need to do, you are paying a tax, a mental tax, an emotional tax. You are living in a low-level state of anxiety. That little task you put off, it's not just sitting on your to-do list. It's a constant, silent weight on your mind. It's a weight that drains your energy and prevents you from truly being present and focused. You have to become a master of immediate action. So let's get down to the mission for today. You did the physical audit, right? You took control of your space. Now, I want you to perform a procrastination audit. I want you to look at your to-do list or just think about your day and identify one task you have been putting off. Just one. The one that's been bothering you, the one that's been weighing on your mind. Then I want you to make a commitment, a non-negotiable commitment to use the 5-second rule to complete that task. You are not going to think about it. You're not going to debate with yourself. You're just going to count down from 5 and you are going to move. You are going to act with courage. You are going to take your power back. And when you're done with that task, I want you to sit down for just 5 minutes and pull out a piece of paper. This is your personal journal. You are going to write down the answers to 3 questions. What was the exact excuse my mind gave me to not do this task? What feeling did I have in the 5 seconds right before I took action? What's the feeling I have right now after completing it? Write it down. Don't just think about it. Writing it down makes it real. It burns the victory into your soul. You need to have a record of your savagery. This isn't about the size of the task. This isn't about the complexity of the task. This is about a small, decisive, intentional act of will. It's about you proving to yourself that you are in control. This is about building the habit of discipline, one powerful, intentional choice at a time. When you do this, something powerful happens. You get a feeling, the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of victory, the feeling of momentum. And you're going to take that feeling and you're going to carry it with you for the rest of your day. You're not just completing a task. You're building a new identity, the identity of a person who does what they say they're going to do. Look, y'all, I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm asking you to be relentless. I'm asking you to be a savage. So today, when that voice of procrastination starts to whisper, you are going to scream back at it. You are going to say, no, not today, not ever again. You are going to count down from 5 and you are going to go get what's yours. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's go. I need you to understand what's happening inside your head during that 5-second window. It's a fight between 2 parts of your brain. On one side, you've got your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain that's logical, that's goal-oriented, that knows what's good for you. That's the part of your brain that says you need to get up and exercise. You need to make that phone call. But on the other side, you've got your amygdala. That's your brain's emotional center. It's the part that's all about comfort and avoiding pain. It hears the voice of the prefrontal cortex and immediately screams, danger, this is uncomfortable. Stay where you are. I'll protect you. And it floods your body with a little dose of fear, a little dose of doubt. You feel that hesitation, that little moment where you just freeze. That's your amygdala trying to win the war. So when I say count down from 5, you're not just counting, you're hijacking your brain. You're taking an action before the emotional part of your brain can shut you down. You're giving the command to your body to move before your brain can talk you out of it. It's a scientific fact, y'all. It's the most powerful tool you have to bypass the fear and get straight to the action. Listen to me, y'all. Your desire for comfort is the enemy of your dreams. A lot of people are comfortable with being miserable. They are comfortable with being average. They are comfortable with making excuses. You've got to get uncomfortable. You've got to fall in love with the discomfort of growth. The person who succeeds is the person who is willing to do what others are not willing to do. And what others are not willing to do is to be uncomfortable. The 5-second rule forces you into that discomfort. It forces you to get up when you want to stay down. It forces you to make that call when you want to send a text. It forces you to write that email when you want to procrastinate. It's a daily, non-negotiable act of courage. Every time you do it, you are proving to yourself that your dreams are more important than your comfort. You're building a tolerance for the very thing that is going to make you great. Some of y'all, you've got a whole library of excuses. I'm not in the mood. I'll be more creative later. I don't have enough time. Let me tell you something. Those are not reasons. Those are lies. They are lies. They are lies that you tell yourself to protect your comfort. The truth is, the moment you start, the mood will follow. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. You think the greats waited for the perfect moment? You think they waited for the muse to strike? Nah, they started. They got to work. They created the momentum. You've got to stop waiting for inspiration to hit you. You've got to go out and tackle it. You've got to attack your goals with the same relentless savagery that you use to attack a video game or a Netflix series. You have to stop treating your dreams like a casual hobby and start treating them like a life or death mission. Look, y'all. The power of the 5-second rule isn't just about getting one thing done. It's about what happens next. It's about the momentum multiplier. When you win that first battle of the day, when you get up and you stand up, you send a powerful message to your mind. I am a winner. I can do hard things. And that little feeling of victory carries you through your day. It makes it easier to tackle the next task and the next and the next. That one act of discipline creates a ripple effect of courage. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, picking up speed and size. That one little decision, that 5-second window, can turn a day of procrastination into a day of massive productivity. Don't underestimate the power of a small victory. Small victories, y'all, lead to massive momentum. They lead to a life of relentless achievement. I'm going to tell you something real simple. This whole challenge is meaningless if you don't have a strong why. You can clean your desk. You can put your phone in another room. But when that willpower muscle gets tired, when that temptation screams your name, the only thing that will keep you going is the power of your purpose. Why are you doing this? What is that one thing you're fighting for? Is it your family? Is it your business? Is it your legacy? When you sit down to do your one thing today, before you even start, I want you to write down your why on a sticky note and put it right in front of you. That note is your anchor. It's your compass. It's the constant reminder of why you're fighting this war. You're not fighting to be disciplined. You're being disciplined so you can win the war, so you can achieve your dreams, so you can leave a mark on the world. Don't just work on your dreams. Fight for them. Listen to me closely. Every time you procrastinate, every time you choose distraction over discipline, you are adding to the emotional weight you carry. That unfinished project, that unclean desk, that unanswered email, they sit in the back of your mind and they create a low-level anxiety that never goes away. You're carrying a backpack full of rocks that you put there yourself. But when you do the audit, when you take one decisive action to eliminate a distraction, you take one of those rocks out of the backpack. And every day, with every small victory, that load gets lighter and lighter. This challenge isn't just about getting more work done. It's about finding peace. It's about living a life free from the constant stress of things left undone. Y'all, I'm done talking. We're not here to talk about it. We're here to be about it. The time for planning is over. The time for making excuses is over. The time for thinking about it is over. Your environment is your canvas, and it's time to start painting. This isn't a future challenge. This is a right now challenge. This is a today challenge. You have everything you need. You have the knowledge. You have the one thing. You have the power to take action. So let's go. Do the audit, make the change, and take back your power. I'll see you tomorrow. I need you to understand something deep. You are going to feel pain either way. Let me say that again. You are going to feel pain either way. You can choose the pain of discipline, or you can choose the pain of regret. The pain of discipline is temporary, y'all. It's the discomfort of getting up when you're tired. It's the sting of making that difficult phone call. It's the ache of doing the work when you don't feel like it. But that pain, my friends, is a good pain. It's the pain of growth. It's the pain of progress. It's the pain of building a life of purpose. Now, the pain of regret, that's a different kind of monster. The pain of regret is a constant, nagging internal wound. It's the whisper that says, what if I had just done it? What if I had just moved? The pain of regret is the quiet sorrow of a life unfulfilled. It's the crushing weight of knowing you had a dream, but you let comfort win the battle. The pain of regret will last a lifetime, but the pain of discipline only lasts a moment. So which pain are you going to choose? Are you going to choose the temporary discomfort of greatness or the eternal sorrow of what could have been? The choice is yours, but the consequence is non-negotiable. I want you to adopt a new philosophy, a new creed. I call it the no 0 day philosophy. What is a 0 day? A 0 day is a day where you do nothing. A day where you don't do your one thing. A day where you let the excuses win. A day where you take one step backward, or worse, just stand still. I'm telling you, you have to become so committed to your dreams that a 0 day is not even an option. On your worst day, when you're tired, when you're sick, when you're unmotivated, you still do something. You still take one step forward. Maybe it's not the giant, powerful step you wanted, but you take a step nonetheless. You get up and you do just one push-up. You write just one sentence. You make just one phone call. It's not about being perfect, y'all. It's about being relentless. It's about sending a message to the universe and to yourself that you will not be denied. A single, consistent act of discipline is more powerful than 100 sporadic bursts of motivation. So let's make a pact right now. No more 0 days. You understand me? No more 0 days. A lot of y'all think you lack motivation. You don't. You lack courage. And I'm not talking about the courage to face a lion. I'm talking about the courage to face the voice inside your head. The courage to say, I'm going to do this thing, even though I'm not sure if it will work out. The courage to choose to be uncomfortable for the sake of your dreams. The 5-second rule is not just about time. It's about courage. It's about building the muscle of audacity. Every time you count down from 5 and you take action, you are taking a risk, a small risk, but a risk nonetheless. You are risking the chance of failure, of discomfort, of not being perfect. But the greatest risk of all is doing nothing. The greatest risk is a life of what ifs. So today, I need you to be audacious. I need you to be brave. I need you to move on that task that's been weighing on you. That is the first act of a courageous life. Look, the world is full of thinkers. The world is full of people who have great ideas. The world is full of people who have plans, but the world is changed by doers. The gap between thinking and doing is where dreams go to die. And that gap, y'all, is only 5 seconds wide. You've got to close that gap. You have to become a person who, when they have a thought, a good thought, a goal, they immediately move. They immediately take action. You have to train your mind to associate an idea with a move, not with a debate, not with a delay, with a move. That's the difference between success and failure. That's the difference between a life of purpose and a life of regret. You have to stop thinking yourself out of greatness and start acting your way into it. This is your moment. This is your time. Let's go. You listen to me, y'all. A lot of us get intimidated by the sheer size of our dreams. We look at that mountain we got to climb and we just freeze up. We see that huge project, that massive goal, and we say, I can't do that. You think a mountain gets climbed in one step? You think a giant redwood tree grows in one day? Nah, they start small, and that's what the 5-second rule is all about. It's not about making a leap, it's about taking a step. The person who starts is the one who finishes. You're not going to move a boulder in one push, but you can give it a little nudge. You can put your hands on it. You can commit to that first little bit of resistance, and then you do it again and again. Every time you use the 5-second rule, you're not just doing a task, you're building a foundation. You're a savage, and savages don't get intimidated by the size of the mountain. They just start climbing. One step, one breath, one count at a time. I need you to understand something real deep, and I need you to hear me. A lot of y'all, you're not just carrying a backpack of rocks from your incomplete tasks. You're carrying a suitcase full of rocks from yesterday's failures. You're letting what happened last week or last month or last year hold you hostage today. You failed at something. Who cares? You messed up. So what? Every champion, every legend, every single person who ever made an impact on this planet has failed. They have stumbled. They have fallen. But the difference between them and the average person is that they learned the art of forgetting. You can't change yesterday, but you can change right now. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. The only way you can use the 5-second rule effectively is if you are fully present. You have to be here. You have to be now. Don't let the weight of yesterday's mistakes stop you from taking action on today's opportunities. Forgive yourself for not being perfect and then get back to work. Listen up. This is a war, right? And no soldier goes into war alone. You don't have to do this all by yourself. I want you to find an accountability partner. Find someone who's on this journey with you, someone who gets it. Maybe it's a friend, a coworker, a family member. And here's the rule. Every single day, you check in with them, you text them and say, I use the 5-second rule. I did my one thing, and they do the same for you. This isn't about being a crutch. This is about being a co-pilot. This is about having someone in the trenches with you so that when that voice of procrastination screams, you've got two voices to drown it out. You've got to make your commitment external. You've got to make it public. It makes it real. It makes it so much harder to back down from the challenge. You're not just letting yourself down. You're letting your partner down. This is a team sport, and we are not losing. A lot of people are waiting for motivation to strike. They're waiting for the perfect moment. They're waiting to feel good, but champions don't wait for motivation. They create it. They take action. They get to work. They understand that motivation is not something you get. It's something you earn. You earn it through discipline. You earn it by doing the thing you don't want to do and then feeling that burst of energy and pride that comes from a victory. That's the secret. That's the unlock. So today, when that voice of doubt creeps in, you're not going to debate it. You're not going to argue with it. You're just going to respond with action. You're going to count down from 5, and you're going to prove to yourself that you are the commander. This isn't just a challenge. This is an identity shift. You're not a person who procrastinates. You're a person of immediate action. You are a champion. Now go out there and prove it. Let's go. Listen, y'all. I need you to understand how powerful one little act can be. It's like a domino effect. You know what a domino is, right? A little piece of wood stands up on its own. It's not that strong, but you line a bunch of them up and you just push the first one, just one. And that one push, that one little act of discipline takes down the whole line. That's how your life works. When you get up with that alarm in the morning, that's your first domino. It knocks over the next one, which is making your bed. And making your bed knocks over the next one, which is that morning workout. And that workout knocks over the next one, which is a healthy breakfast. And before you know it, you've got a whole day of savage, relentless action, all because you had the courage to push that first domino. So stop looking at the whole line of tasks you've got ahead of you. Just find that first domino and knock it over. Do that one little non-negotiable thing. The rest will follow. I'm going to tell you something real deep, and I need you to hear me. Every time you put off what you know you're supposed to do, you break a promise to yourself. That's your integrity, y'all. Every time you say, I'm going to get up early, and you hit snooze, you tell yourself, I can't trust me. And when you break that promise, you start to lose respect for the man or woman in the mirror. You start to lose belief in your own word. You got to get back to a place where when you say it, you mean it. When you say you're going to do it, it's done. The 5-second rule is how you rebuild that trust. It's how you show yourself that you are a person of integrity, that you are a person of action, that you are a person who can be counted on. It all starts with that one little promise to yourself. Keep it. I need you to get addicted to something. I need you to get addicted to one more, not one more episode, not one more scroll. I'm talking about one more push-up, one more sentence, one more phone call. That is the secret, y'all. That is what separates the champions from the contenders. It's not the first 100 reps. It's the last one. It's not the first page. It's the next one. When your body and your mind scream, I'm done, I'm tired, that's when you dig deep and you find one more. That's when you say to yourself, I'm not just here to do what's easy. I'm here to do what's necessary. That's when you prove to yourself that your will is stronger than your comfort. The power of one more is a declaration. It's a declaration that you will not be denied. And that's the attitude that builds empires. You hear me talking about thinking and doing, but I need you to take it one step further. I need you to get from doing to being. You're not just a person who does things. You're a person who is a producer. You're not just a person who is disciplined. You are a disciplined person. That's an identity shift. You have to stop viewing your actions as things you have to do and start viewing them as expressions of who you are. The discipline you practice, the work you put in, that's not a chore. That is your art. that is your masterpiece. You're not just making a mark on a to-do list. You're making a mark on the world. And every time you use the 5-second rule, every time you choose action over comfort, you're not just voting for the person you want to become. You're being that person right now. So stop waiting to be great. Start being great. A lot of y'all think that discipline is restrictive. You think it's about rules and limitations. That's a lie. Discipline isn't a cage. It's a key. It's the key that unlocks your freedom. You're not free when you can do whatever you want. You're a slave to your own desires, to your own emotions, to your own laziness. That's not freedom. Freedom is the ability to do what is necessary when it is necessary, even when you don't feel like it. Freedom is being in complete control of yourself. It's living a life where you are the master of your mind and the captain of your soul. When you conquer the voice of procrastination, you are truly, for the first time, free. You're free from the weight of regret. You're free from the constant burden of what's left undone. You're free to pursue your purpose with relentless focus. The freedom you're looking for, it's on the other side of that first courageous step. I'm going to say this one last time. The time for talking is over. The time for planning is over. The time for sitting on the sidelines is over. You've got the knowledge. You've got the tools. You've got the power. This isn't a game. This is your life. You are in the ring, and you can either throw punches or you can get knocked out. The choice is yours. The moment is right now. The opportunity is right in front of you. So take a deep breath. Find that task that you've been putting off. That one thing. Count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's go. Listen to me and listen to me good. A lot of y'all are living in a place called someday. You're telling yourself, someday I'll start that business. Someday I'll write that book. Someday I'll get in shape. Let me tell you something about someday. It's a lie. It's the most seductive, dangerous lie that exists. Someday is not a day on the calendar. It's a mental prison. It's a place where your dreams go to collect dust. You're waiting for the stars to align, for the perfect moment, for the motivation to magically show up. But that moment is never coming. The only moment you have is right now. The only day you have is today. You have to stop trading in the currency of someday and start living in the currency of right now. Because someday is where the lazy, the comfortable, and the complacent live. And you ain't none of those. You hear me? You are a savage. You are a champion. So stop letting someday steal your destiny. I gave you a mission today, right? One task. But I want you to level up. I want you to create a savage list for yourself. This ain't a long, boring to-do list. This is a list of 3 to 5 non-negotiable things you will do every single day, no matter what. It's not about the size of the task. It's about the commitment to completion. Maybe it's a 15-minute walk. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a book. Maybe it's making a single sales call. You write that list down and you put it where you can see it. And every day you use the 5-second rule to get it done. You are not living in the optional. You are living in the non-negotiable. This list is your pact with yourself. It's your daily declaration of war against mediocrity. This is how you build an unbreakable will. I need you to understand something about the law of reciprocity, but on a different level. A lot of y'all think about giving and receiving with other people. But what about with yourself? The law of reciprocity with yourself means that what you put into your mind and your body, you will get back. You give yourself discipline and you get back confidence. You give yourself courage and you get back momentum. You give yourself small wins and you get back an identity of a winner. You cannot expect to receive motivation when you are only giving yourself procrastination. You cannot expect to feel proud of yourself when you are constantly breaking promises to yourself. You have to give yourself the good stuff first. You have to invest in yourself first. You have to be your own greatest champion, because when you give yourself the best, you get the best back. Look, the 5-second rule ain't just some crazy idea. It's science. The human brain operates on something called a habit loop. It has 3 parts: a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue is the trigger. It's that moment you feel that spark of inspiration. It's that moment you know you need to do something. Your brain's lazy default routine is procrastination. The reward is the comfort of not doing it. But the 5-second rule is how you hijack that loop. You keep the cue, but you replace the routine. You hear the alarm, and instead of the old routine of snoozing, you use the 5-second rule to create a new routine of immediate action. And the reward, it's that feeling of momentum. It's the pride. It's the feeling of victory. That is a more powerful reward than comfort. So you're not just building a habit, you're building a new neurological pathway. You're retraining your brain to be a savage. I want to talk to all my athletes and all my non-athletes. When you're in the gym, that first rep is easy, right? The second rep, easy. But that last rep, the one where your muscles are screaming, where your body is shaking, that's where the work happens. That is where the growth is. That is where the strength is built. It's the same thing in life. It's easy to start a dream, but can you finish? It's easy to make a plan, but can you execute? I need you to understand that the real battle, the one that truly defines you, is not fought at the beginning. It's fought at the end. It's fought in that moment when you're tired, when you're frustrated, and you're ready to quit. That is your moment to prove who you are. That is your moment to find one more rep, to find one more sentence, to make one more call. That is the moment where champions are forged. Look, the language you use matters. You're either speaking the language of excuses or you're speaking the language of action. When you say, I'm tired, you're making an excuse. When you say, I don't have enough time, you're making an excuse. That's the language of a victim. A savage doesn't speak that language. A savage says, I'm tired, so I'm going to take a nap and then I'm going to get back to work. A savage says, I don't have enough time, so I'm going to make the time. You got to change your vocabulary if you want to change your life. Your words have power. They have the power to create a reality of excuses or a reality of relentless action. What are you going to say when that voice of procrastination screams? You're going to say, not today. I'm not a victim. I'm a savage. We talked about winning the day, right? But the day is not won in the afternoon. It's not one in the evening, it is one in the morning. The way you start your day is the way you start your life. A non-negotiable morning routine is your first act of discipline. It's your first victory. Before the world wakes up, before the notifications start, before the emails come in, you've already won. Maybe it's a 30-minute workout. Maybe it's 15 minutes of meditation. Maybe it's just getting up and drinking a glass of water and planning your day. Whatever it is, it's your ritual. It's your sacred time. It's your moment to tell the universe and yourself that you are serious about your dreams. And when you win the morning, you put yourself in a position to win the day. This is how you take your power back. This is how you build a life of relentless achievement. I'm going to leave you with this. The war you're fighting is not against your circumstances. It's not against the people who doubt you. The war is against yourself. It's against the voice that says you can't. It's against the part of you that wants to quit. And every single day, you have to show up for that battle. You have to be relentless. You have to be a savage. This challenge isn't just about focusing for a few days. It's about building a mindset for life, an unbreakable, unstoppable mindset. Now go get it. Let's go. Look, we talked about the 5-second rule, right? That's for those moments of hesitation. But what about all those little things you put off all day? The dishes in the sink, a quick email reply, putting your gym clothes out for tomorrow. I want you to adopt the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, you do it immediately. You don't put it on a list. You don't think about it. You just get it done. Don't let those little tasks pile up because every single one of them is another little rock in your backpack. When you practice the 2-minute rule, you're not just crossing things off a list. You're building a new habit of immediate execution. You're training your brain to stop debating and start doing. This is how you take back your time and your mental energy, 2 things you'll need to win the war. I need you to think about your confidence, your self-respect, and your belief in yourself as a bank account. Every time you say you're going to do something and you do it, you're making a deposit, a big, fat, non-negotiable deposit. When you get up with the alarm, that's a deposit. When you finish that small task, that's a deposit. And over time, those little deposits add up. They give you a reserve of confidence. You can draw on when the big challenges hit. But what happens when you procrastinate? What happens when you say you'll do it later? That's a withdrawal. Every single time you choose comfort over discipline, you are taking a withdrawal from your emotional bank account. And if you keep taking withdrawals, you're going to go broke. You're going to be so depleted of self-trust that when a real opportunity comes, you won't have the courage to even try. So stop taking withdrawals and start making deposits. Be your own biggest investor. A lot of people think willpower is this infinite resource, but it's not. It's like a gas tank. It starts off full in the morning, but as you make decisions throughout the day, as you resist distractions and push through discomfort, that tank starts to get empty. And that's when that voice of procrastination starts to get loud. That's when you give in. The secret is to constantly be refilling that tank. And how do you do that? With small wins. Every time you use the 5-second rule or the 2-minute rule, you're not just getting a task done. You're putting a little bit of gas back in your tank. Those small victories, those little moments of courage, they are the fuel that keeps you going. So stop waiting for the big moments. Go get that small win. Fill up your willpower tank and you'll be unstoppable. A lot of y'all have goals, right? You want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a world-class athlete. That's cool. But goals without rituals are just dreams. You can't just wish your way to the top. You have to build the habits that get you there. You have to turn your goals into daily, non-negotiable rituals. Instead of just having the goal, I want to be in shape, you have the ritual. I will get up at 5 a.m. and run for 30 minutes no matter what. You're not just working towards a goal, you're living a lifestyle of a champion. You're creating a blueprint for your greatness. The 5-second rule and the 2-minute rule are not just tricks, they're the building blocks of those rituals. You're building a new life, one ritual at a time. I need you to start thinking about your mind the same way you think about your body. You wouldn't expect to go to the gym once and be a world-class athlete, right? So why do you expect to have a strong mind without training it? Your mind needs a workout too. The 5-second rule is a rep. The 2-minute rule is a set. Every time you push through a moment of hesitation, you are doing a mental push-up. You are making your mind stronger. You are building the muscle of discipline. You are training for life. You are getting ready for the heavy lifting. So stop sitting on the sidelines. Get in the gym. Get in the mental gym. Start lifting. Start training, because the battle ain't won in the ring. It's won in the training. Look, we talked about auditing your space, your time, your excuses. But I want you to do one more audit today. I want you to perform a gratitude audit. I want you to take 5 minutes and just think about all the things you have to be thankful for. It could be your health. It could be a roof over your head. It could be the fact that you have the time to even think about your dreams. Why? Because it puts your struggles in perspective. It makes the pain of discipline feel small. It reminds you that you have so much to lose, so much to protect. So stop complaining about what you don't have and start being grateful for what you do. A grateful mind is a powerful mind. It's an unstoppable mind. Now go out there and be thankful and then go be great. I'm done talking, y'all. The time for debate is over. The time for excuses is over. This isn't just a challenge. This is a declaration of war. You're either going to be a victim of your excuses or a savage creator of your destiny. The choice is yours. You have all the knowledge. You have all the tools. You have all the power. And the moment to use that power is right now. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. So go get that one task. That one thing that's been weighing on your mind. That one thing you know you need to do. Count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's go. Listen to me, y'all. I see all of you out there with your hustle culture and your grind hashtags. Y'all are posting every single workout. You're posting every single project. You're posting every single thing you do. And let me tell you something. That's not the secret. The secret is in the quiet work. The secret is in the work that nobody sees. The work that happens when the camera is off. That's where champions are made. You got to learn to fall in love with the grind when nobody is watching. You got to learn to love the work when there's no praise, no likes, no comments, because that's the work that builds character. That's the work that separates the pretenders from the contenders. When you're in that library at 2 a.m. and the whole world is asleep and you're grinding on that paper, that's the savage work. When you're in that cold gym on a Sunday morning and nobody is there to clap for you and you're pushing through one more rep, that's the savage work. So stop performing for the world. Start working for yourself. The real reward isn't in the applause, it's in the growth. A lot of y'all are overwhelmed. You've got 100 things on your to-do list and you don't even know where to start. You're running around like a chicken with his head cut off. You're trying to do everything and you end up doing nothing. That's a trap, y'all. That's the enemy playing tricks on your mind. The secret to domination isn't in doing everything. It's in doing the one thing. Find the one task, the one project, the one goal that if you complete it makes everything else easier or unnecessary. Just one. And you put a laser focus on it. You block out the world. You block out the noise. You block out the distractions. You don't get sidetracked. You eat, sleep, and breathe that one thing until it's done. You're not a juggler. You're a sniper. You don't need to hit every target. You just need to hit the one that matters most. Listen to me. A lot of y'all are so focused on the fear of failure that you haven't even considered the fear of success. Yeah, I said it. The fear of success. Because with greatness comes responsibility. With greatness comes a higher standard. When you succeed, you're no longer just working for yourself. You're working for your family. You're working for your legacy. You're working for all the people who believed in you. You're so used to being in the struggle. You're so used to being the underdog that you don't even know what to do with the victory. You're afraid of what's on the other side of that mountain. But I'm telling you, the struggle is just the entry fee. The real journey begins when you get to the top. So stop letting the fear of the unknown stop you from winning. Embrace the responsibility of greatness. You were born for this. A lot of y'all are looking for the magic formula. You're looking for a shortcut. You're looking for the easy way. And I'm going to tell you something that's going to hurt your feelings. There is no magic formula. The secret is in the repetition. The secret is in the fundamentals. It's in the boring, mundane, repetitive work that nobody wants to do. You think Michael Jordan was born a champion? You think he was born with that fadeaway? No, he practiced it over and over again. Thousands of times. He became a master of repetition. You want to be a master of your craft? You want to be great? Then you've got to fall in love with the reps. You've got to fall in love with the process. You've got to fall in love with the boredom, because the person who does the most reps, the person who puts in the most hours, the person who masters the fundamentals, that's the person who wins. That's the person who becomes unstoppable. Look, the language you use matters. You're either speaking the language of excuses or you're speaking the language of action. When you say, I'm tired, you're making an excuse. When you say, I don't have enough time, you're making an excuse. That's the language of a victim. A savage doesn't speak that language. A savage says, I'm tired, so I'm going to take a nap and then I'm going to get back to work. A savage says, I don't have enough time, so I'm going to make the time. You got to change your vocabulary if you want to change your life. Your words have power. They have the power to create a reality of excuses or a reality of relentless action. What are you going to say when that voice of procrastination screams? You're going to say, not today. I'm not a victim. I'm a savage. We talked about winning the day, right? But the day is not won in the afternoon. It's not won in the evening. It is won in the morning. The way you start your day is the way you start your life. A non-negotiable morning routine is your first act of discipline. It's your first victory. Before the world wakes up, before the notifications start, before the emails come in, you've already won. Maybe it's a 30-minute workout. Maybe it's 15 minutes of meditation. Maybe it's just getting up and drinking a glass of water and planning your day. Whatever it is, it's your ritual. It's your sacred time. It's your moment to tell the universe and yourself that you are serious about your dreams. And when you win the morning, you put yourself in a position to win the day. This is how you take your power back. This is how you build a life of relentless achievement. I'm going to leave you with this. The war you're fighting is not against your circumstances. It's not against the people who doubt you. The war is against yourself. It's against the voice that says you can't. It's against the part of you that wants to quit. And every single day, you have to show up for that battle. You have to be relentless. You have to be a savage. This challenge isn't just about focusing for a few days. It's about building a mindset for life, an unbreakable, unstoppable mindset. Now go get it. Let's go.